The young man stood at the foot of the wall, his dreams shattered. He had trained for months, pushing his limits, visualizing his triumph. But today, he fell. He landed hard, the wind knocked out of him. His body ached, but the pain in his heart was far greater. He had failed. The crowd, once cheering, was silent. He felt their eyes on him, judging, pitying. Shame burned in his throat, choking him. He wanted to disappear, to melt into the ground. The disappointment was crushing. He had given it his all, yet it wasn't enough. Doubts flooded his mind. Was he simply not good enough? Was this a sign to give up, to stop chasing this impossible dream? He retreated to the solitude of his room, the weight of failure heavy on his shoulders. The climbing rope, hanging limply on the wall, mocked him. He was lost in a sea of despair, the taste of defeat bitter on his tongue. He was ready to quit, to accept that some dreams were just meant to be broken. A knock on the door startled him. It was his grandfather, his eyes filled with concern. He had always believed in him, even when he doubted himself. His grandfather sat beside him, his voice gentle but firm. "Falling is part of climbing," he said, his eyes twinkling. "It's how you get back up that defines you." He spoke of his own falls, of the times he wanted to give up but didn't. He reminded him that every failure was a lesson, a stepping stone to success. His words were a lifeline, pulling him back from the abyss of despair. He began to see the fall not as an ending, but as a bend in the road. The next morning, he woke up with a newfound determination. His grandfather's words echoed in his mind, fueling his resolve. He would try again. He knew it wouldn't be easy. He would have to confront his fear, push past the memory of the fall. But he was no longer afraid to fail. He had tasted defeat, and it had only made him hungrier for success. He would honor his dream, his effort, by giving it one more try. He laced up his climbing shoes, each movement filled with purpose. He was ready to face the wall, to rewrite his story. Section 5. Back to the grind. He returned to the wall, the familiar chalk dust a comforting scent. It was a scent that brought back memories of countless hours spent training, pushing his limits, and striving to be better. The chalk dust was more than just a tool. It was a symbol of his dedication and hard work. He could feel the eyes on him, but this time he didn't let them shake him. The onlookers were a mix of curious spectators and fellow climbers, each with their own stories and struggles. He knew that their gaze was not one of judgment, but of shared passion and respect. He had a point to prove to himself more than anyone else. This climb was not just about reaching the top, it was about overcoming the mental barriers that had held him back. It was about proving that he could rise above his doubts and fears. He started his ascent, his movements precise, controlled. Each hold he grasped, each step he took was a calculated move, a testament to his training and perseverance. He could feel the strength in his muscles, the rhythm of his breathing, and the focus in his mind. Each grip, each step was a testament to his unwavering spirit. He had faced setbacks before, but each one had only made him stronger. The wall was not just a physical challenge, it was a metaphor for the obstacles he had faced in life. He refused to be defined by his past failure. Every fall, every slip was a lesson learned, a step closer to his goal. He knew that failure was not the end, but a part of the journey towards success. He climbed with a newfound focus, his mind clear of doubt. The clarity he felt was liberating, allowing him to move with confidence and purpose. He was no longer second-guessing his abilities, he was trusting in his training and instinct. He remembered his grandfather's words, "It's not about the fall, but the climb." Those words had always resonated with him, reminding him that the journey was just as important as the destination. His grandfather had been a source of wisdom and inspiration, teaching him the value of perseverance and resilience. He was no longer just climbing a wall, he was climbing over his fear, his self-doubt. Each move upward was a step away from the insecurities that had once held him back. He was breaking free from the chains of his own mind, discovering a strength he never knew he had. He was proving to himself that he was stronger, more resilient than he thought. Reaching the top was not just a physical achievement, it was a triumph of the spirit. He had conquered not just the wall, but the doubts and fears that had once seemed insurmountable. In that moment of triumph, he realized that the true victory was not in reaching the top, but in the journey that had brought him there. Section 6. The wall looms. The higher he climbed, the more daunting the wall seemed. The memory of his fall flashed before his eyes, threatening to pull him back into the abyss of fear. His muscles screamed for respite, but he pushed on, fueled by sheer willpower. He knew he was close, but the final stretch seemed insurmountable. He clung to the wall, his fingers aching, his breath ragged. He could see the top, so close yet so far. Doubt crept in, whispering insidious suggestions of surrender. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath and dug deep within himself. He found a reserve of strength, a flicker of hope that refused to be extinguished. Section 7. A helping hand. He heard his grandfather's voice in the crowd. "You've got this! One more push!" His words were like a gust of wind, propelling him forward. He reached for the next hold, his fingers grasping, finding purchase. He pulled himself up, his body trembling with exhaustion, but his spirit soaring. He could hear the roar of the crowd, their cheers washing over him, but all he could focus on was the top, the culmination of his efforts, his resilience. He was no longer alone in his climb. He had the unwavering support of his grandfather, the energy of the crowd, and the strength of his own indomitable spirit. Section 8. Triumphant climb. With one final Herculean effort, he pulled himself up and over the edge. He had done it. He had conquered the wall, and more importantly, he had conquered his own self-doubt. He stood on top of the wall, his arms raised in victory, the cheers of the crowd washing over him. He looked down at the long climb, a wave of emotion washing over him. He felt a profound sense of accomplishment, of gratitude for the journey, for the fall that had ultimately led him to this moment of triumph. He looked towards his grandfather, their eyes meeting across the crowd. In that shared glance there was understanding, pride, and the unspoken truth that sometimes the greatest victories are born from our greatest falls. Section 9. A new perspective. The fall, once a symbol of failure, now held a new meaning. It was no longer just a moment of defeat, but a pivotal point of transformation. Each fall was a lesson, a stepping stone towards growth and self-discovery. It was a reminder that even in the face of adversity, even when hope seems lost, there is always the possibility of getting back up, stronger and more determined. The human spirit is resilient, capable of enduring and overcoming the most daunting challenges. He realized that life, like climbing, was about embracing the challenges, learning from the falls, and never giving up on the pursuit of our dreams. Each obstacle was an opportunity to grow, to become more than we were before. The journey was as important as the destination. He knew that there would be other walls to climb, other challenges to face. Life was a series of climbs, each one presenting its own unique set of difficulties and rewards. But with each climb, he became more skilled, more prepared for the next. But he was no longer afraid. Fear had been replaced by a quiet confidence, a belief in his own abilities. He understood that fear was just a part of the process, a challenge to be faced and overcome. He had discovered the power of resilience, the strength that lies dormant within us all, waiting to be unleashed. This newfound strength was not just physical, but mental and emotional as well. It was the strength to keep going, to push through the pain and the doubt. He had learned that the greatest victory is not always about reaching the destination, but about the courage to keep going, one step at a time, even when the path is uncertain. It was about the journey, the experiences and the lessons learned along the way. Each step forward was a triumph, a testament to his resilience and determination. In the end, he realized that every fall, every challenge and every step taken was a part of his story. A story of perseverance, growth and the unyielding human spirit. And with this new perspective, he was ready to face whatever came next, with hope and determination in his heart. Section 10. The power of one more try. As he walked away from the wall, hand in hand with his grandfather, he felt a sense of accomplishment. The climb had been tough, but the lessons learned were invaluable. He carried with him a newfound wisdom, a deeper understanding of perseverance and determination. He understood that life's greatest lessons are often learned not in moments of triumph, but in the face of adversity. It is in these moments that our true character is revealed. He realized that every challenge he faced was an opportunity to grow, to become stronger and more resilient. He knew that the next time he stumbled, the next time he faced a seemingly insurmountable obstacle, the next time he felt like giving up, he would remember this climb He would remember the struggle, the pain, and the ultimate victory. He would remember the power of one more try, the importance of pushing forward even when the odds seemed against him. He would remember the unwavering belief in himself, the inner strength that carried him through the toughest times. He would remember the support of those who believed in him, the friends and family who stood by his side. He knew that with their support he could overcome any obstacle, achieve any goal. He walked into the sunset, his heart filled with gratitude for the journey he had undertaken. His heart was filled with gratitude for the lessons learned, the strength gained, and the love received. His spirit ignited with the fire of resilience, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. He knew that as long as he held on to the belief in himself, as long as he was willing to try one more time, anything was possible. He understood that the journey was just as important as the destination, and that every step taken, every effort made, brought him closer to his dreams. With each climb, each challenge, he grew stronger, more determined, and more confident in his abilities. Surrounded by those who believed in him, he felt a sense of belonging, a sense of purpose. He knew that his grandfather's wisdom and love would always guide him, reminding him of the power of one more try. And so, with a heart full of gratitude and a spirit ignited with resilience, he faced the future with unwavering determination, ready to conquer whatever lay ahead. Be sure to like and subscribe for more inspirational content.